that I also, at one point in my life, was a non-Muslim. And by show of hands, how many people have heard my story of how I converted to Islam? Okay, alhamdulillah. Well, basically, for those that haven't heard my story, you know, my journey to Islam started way before, you know, the music business. A lot of people, you know, can follow my conversion to Islam from, you know, the music business into, you know, Islam in December 2008. But I was born and raised in New York City. You know, I was born and raised in Harlem. You know what I'm saying? A community that's definitely like epitomized drugs, violence, and things of this nature. And basically, you know, living in this environment, and I can look around the room and see a lot of brothers that, you know, definitely seem like you've been exposed to some of the things I've been exposed to growing up, whether you're Muslim or not. And living in this environment as men, we tend to conduct ourselves a certain way. And also looking around the room, I can see a lot of brothers got their poker face. Yeah, you know, we have to kind of like, you know, walk around with a still face to try to conceal what joy we might have in our hearts. And the reality of it is, I don't believe that there's nobody in this room that spends a 24-hour day period angry, mad, wanting to hurt somebody, wanting to kill somebody, wanting to rob somebody. Like, this is not what's in your heart, whether you're non-Muslim or not. And, you know, the brother kind of popped up on me with the Gangsters Paradise topic. I was like, okay, I needed a girl. I don't know who Gangsters Paradise came. You know, even though at one point in my life, you know, I did indulge in a lot of things that, you know, I was free from. Even when I came into the music business, I was able to expose a more positive aspect of myself. I chose to show the most constructive side of myself that I possibly could, and that was showing my respect for the sisters. You know what I'm saying, by doing songs like I Need a Girl, which actually, you know, established that, you know, I never made any derogatory statements towards women. I never did anything to tarnish the credibility of women. And this was, and coming from where I came from, this was the best characteristic you could show coming out of the street. You know what I'm saying, besides helping old ladies cross the street, certain little things that, you know, gave you, you know, good stand. So basically, coming into Islam, like I said, started way before the music business. You know, I used to hustle and do a lot of things in Harlem. And basically, you know, I was influenced by the people in my community. I don't know how the communities are around here. But I know in my community, you know, the first inspiration that, or the first, you know, I would say impression that's made on us once we leave our homes is what's in the environment, what's in the community. And basically, like I said, my community was plagued with drug dealers, you know what I'm saying, stick-up kids, gamblers, you know, everything under the sun. And I've always had, you know, an understanding, or always been exposed to the Muslim. Because I don't know if you know about New York City, it's a very diverse place, very multicultural. I mean, you don't really need a passport. You go to New York, I mean, you'll definitely be around every nationality, every ethnicity in this globe. You know what I'm saying? In this world, you will actually be able to endure some type of, you know, characteristic from, you know, different cultures. And in my neighborhood, you know, the local delis, they were dominated by the Yemenis brothers. You know, the Yemenis brothers, you know, they used to have to, you know, use their means of surviving. Because, you know, honestly, I looked at everybody like, we're all brothers in the struggle, you know. I never grew up having any negative views about Islam. But I never understood Islam. But I did understand the Muslim, you know what I'm saying, to a certain degree. I knew that the Yemenis brothers, you know, they own most of the local delis, and they use certain, you know, methods to instill their means of surviving. Like, for instance, they have on, like, their hat to the back, you know, leather jackets, talking to you, coming to the deli, yo, what up, son? You looking at like, it's a Yemeni dude. What are you talking about? What up, son? You know, they get in the back, serving ham sandwiches with plastic gloves on. They have pictures of 4-year-olds holding AKs on the wall. So, you know, these are like little scare tactics that they use, you know, to make sure, like, you know, we have to be firm because we're in an environment that's aggressive. So, you know, we thinking like, man, we got 12-year-olds, you know, carrying a little 22. We got a 4-year-old kid right here with an AK. You know, we ain't stealing nothing out their store. You know what I'm saying? Because if 4-year-old got an AK, you know the dude behind the register must got a, you know, a rocket launcher or something. So this is, you know, these were the methods of survival that I was used to seeing in my environment. And also you had the West African brothers, you know, from Senegal, Nigerian brothers, and they own most of the cab services. So, you know, these brothers also had to use certain methods to survive. You got strangers sitting behind you every day while you driving the cab. Guy you don't even know, sitting behind you. So, you know, once you get in the taxi, you tell the brother where you want to go. You have to be absolutely sure that's where you're trying to go. Because if you switch direction at the last minute, this is when the survival thing kicks in. You say, you know, I keep, you know, take me down on 45th Street. You go, okay. You know, you drive in, next thing you know, say, no, you pull up right here, let me do 137th Street. No, you said 145th Street. You know, calm down, calm down. No, listen, I don't need your money. You can get out of the car now. You know, calm down. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you're supposed to be a Muslim, man. Why are you so harsh? Like, listen, just get out. So the whole thing is like, this is his method of dealing with certain issues because he probably heard stories of cab drivers being killed and things of the nature. So this is the method that, you know, certain individuals had to use. And then to make matters worse, you had the Nation of Islam brothers, you know, they walk around with suits and bow ties, and they just happen to be like the most kindest people in the universe. You know, they method is just, Assalamu alaikum, brother. How you doing? I keep the nice you on the bean pie. Have you ever read the final call? You look at him like, Aki, what do you want? Like, what do you want, man? For real. Nobody that nice. What do you want? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, these are the things, these were the examples of the Muslims that I seen growing up. You know, I never, like I said, never had any negative views toward Islam, but I just looked at every individual in my community as someone who shared a common goal was to survive in the environment. Even the Asian brothers, you know, same thing, you know, it's just a repetitive thing. So basically, it was a time when I discovered I had the ability to write. So this kind of helped me remove my poker face because I was able to resolve some of the matters I was dealing with by writing. So I would be able to conduct myself a little different from my peers. My peers were still angry, they still walking around, you know, just, you know, face all balled up all the time. It's like, you know, they smile, just light up the whole street, you know, but spend most of their days, you know, looking hard. So anyway, when I learned that I had the ability to write, I started to use this as a form of therapy. This was a therapeutic method for me to get by. You know what I'm saying? And then after that got kind of old, I started to use my imagination. I'll use my imagination and incorporate that with the writing as a means to, you know, escape. So I can actually travel all over the world without a passport just by writing. I can put myself in any country I wanted to be in. I can put myself in any environment, any situation I wanted to just by writing. So by doing this and using this as a form of therapy, it enabled me to come outside and conduct myself a different way. So I remember one time, and actually the third step was I started to write songs. You know, I went from the first stage just writing, then I started to write and include a little bit of my imagination. Then after a while I started writing in song mode. So basically one day I was standing on my block, and, you know, me and the brothers, we was out there doing what we was doing. I ain't gotta get into details, you know, we was out there doing what we was doing.